Okay, student, today we are going to see another classical method of solving the transportation problem, which is called as the least cost method. Now, this particular method is used to overcome the limitations of the northwest corner method. Like for the northwest, it is not mandatory that the northwest corner value is the least. So, for this to overcome that, we are going to use this least cost method. Now, the steps for solving this problem is you have to assign as much as possible to the cell with the smallest unit cost in the entire tableau. If there is a tie, then you have to choose arbitrarily. Cross out the row or the column which has satisfied the supply or demand. Adjust the supply and demand for those rows and columns which are not crossed out. You have to continue with these allocations, and when exactly one row or the column is remaining, it is left. All the remaining variables are basic and are assigned to only feasible allocation. Now let us see how to solve this using the steps as mentioned. Now again the same example is been taken. Now here, just looking at this matrix, you will understand that the minimum cost cell is 10, and we can assign out of 100 and 140. So the minimum of that is 100. So I will be assigning 100 units to this cell. Now the column is being satisfied, so I am removing this particular column, and so 100 are being gone, so the supply required is only or is available is only 40. Now again, with this remaining the entire matrix, find out which is the lowest cost cell. Now after going through this, you will see that 15 is the lowest cost. So I will be assigning minimum of 100 and 125, which is 100. So my supply is been exhausted, so I am removing that, but here the demand remaining is 25. Now again, with this remaining matrix, find out which is the minimum cost cell. Over here I can see there is a tie. Now here there is 16, also here is 16. Now for this, find out what are the number of allocations to both these. Now this particular cell, we will be assigning minimum of 125 and 150, that is 125 number of units can be assigned to this cost cell, whereas minimum of 25 and 150, so only 25 can be assigned. So for out of these two, I am going to choose 125 because which is the maximum number of allocations. So here it will be 0 and 25 are remaining for this. So I will be removing the column which is already been satisfied. Again the next is this 16. So I will be assigning the remaining 25 to this. So my column as well as the row are satisfied. So I will be removing both of them. Okay. Now this is a 2 by 3 matrix which is been left with us, and the minimum cost cell is 20. So I have to assign minimum of 40 and 120, that is 40 are been assigned. So here our remaining is 80, and then 0 has gone. So it will be so I am removing this particular column, the row. The remaining are only these 4, and out of that 25 is the minimum. So I will be assigning minimum of 100 and 130. So 30 are remaining over here, and here it will be 0. So now I will be removing the row, and now here again the minimum cost cell is 35. So I will be assigning 30 units to this, which is the minimum of this 30 and 110. So remaining units are 80. So that is the remaining supply, and over here there will be 80 at the end I will be assigning, and so here also it will be 0. And then you can find out what is the cost of transportation. It will be 10 into 100 plus 38 into 80 plus 20 into 40 plus 35 into 30 plus 25 into 100 plus 16 into 25 plus 15 into 100 plus 16 into 25. So the total cost of transportation, students, you can find it out. So it is 1000 plus 38 into 80 plus 20 into 40, that is 800, plus 35 into 30 plus 2500 and plus 16 into 25. So it becomes 8790. So here I am getting the answer as 8790. So students, please check the answer. So this is related with the balanced least cost method. Again, if it is an unbalanced one, that means the supply and demand are not equal, then either we have to add one row or the column. Here you will see that the supply is 500 and the demand is 600. So we are short of supply by 100. So now you have to add one row, which will be so you have to add one row like this, and where now instead of this northwest corner method, I will be using the same one for the least cost method. And now here you will see that I have added one row where the number of units of supply are given as 100. So I have made it as a balanced one. Now let's start with our usual practice. It should be the minimum cost cell, and in this matrix the minimum cost cell is only 0. So for each one I can be assigning only 100 number of units, which is the minimum of this particular cell, and 125, this 125, 130, 120 and 100. So I can assign to any one of the cell. So now let us see that I assume that I am going to assign over here. So these 100 units, the row and the column are being satisfied. So now let us strike it off, this column as well as this row. Now with the remaining one, I have got 15 number of units to this cell 1E, and I can assign 100 number of units, which is the minimum of 100 and 125. So the row is fulfilled. I am removing that. Now with the remaining, again the matrix, I am having 16 as the least cost at both the places. Here I can assign minimum of 25 and 50, so that is 25. But here for this cost cell I will be assigning a minimum of 50 and 125, that is 50 units. So here I will be assigning. So now my row is being removed and 75 number of units are still remaining to be demanded. Now the next, it becomes again there is 20. So it's a tie between this 20 and this 20. So here I will be able to assign only 25 number of units, but here in this cost cell I will be able to assign 120 units. So I will be choosing 120. So this demand is been exhausted and here 20 are remaining. So I will be again assigning this 20 units to this. So still there is 5 which is remaining over here, and now this row is been fulfilled. Next is 24. So to this 24 I will be assigning minimum of 75 and 100, that is 75. So 25 are remaining. I can remove this column. Next remaining is least cost is 25. So for this 25, minimum of 25 and 130, so it will be only 25 I can assign. So here it will be 0 and here it will be 105. So I am removing this row, and there are now only 2 cells which are remaining. 30 and 35, out of which the least cost cell is this 30. I will be assigning only 5 number of units, which is the minimum of 5 and 110. So 105 are remaining. So these 105 I will be able to assign over here. And then I will be calculating the total transportation cost. So calculate the total transportation cost. Now here you have to remember that as we have started with this particular cost cell, assigning 100 units to this dummy and A cell, so you can have more number of 5 such solutions by differing this the assigning this first 100 units to the dummy cell, which is having 0 cost cell. So but that is, it means that whatever we have done, it may not be the optimum solution. Now how to optimize, I am going to tell you in the next subsequent videos.